We'll start with an opening statement from Coach, and then we'll open it up to questions for either one. So, Coach.
I think Delaware is a pretty good team. And one senior, Coach Ross, has done an excellent job in recruiting and getting guys in that he liked. Really impressed with their win in track the other day, and I think they're going to be fine. We'll see that.
Jordan, how important or how much did you guys build off of what you did in the second half of Villanova? How much did that help tonight?
I think Villanova was so disappointing for us in the sense that we really only played about 7-8 minutes of our brand of basketball. And we don't get too many opportunities to play this game. So I keep trying to beat it in their heads that you got to exhaust yourself when you do get one. So having said that, I'm not really sure how much we fed off of losing that game, more so than how much it kind of drove us to want to play the style of basketball that we're capable of playing for 40 minutes.
Coach, can you talk about the great win tonight? Can you talk about the defense and play of Zach Rose and the defense without giving them second chances?
Right. We said one of the keys before the game was that we would have to, continue the ball handling and keep them out of the paint. Obviously, Musada and Lewis and those guys are doing an excellent job of just creating actions, whether it be for themselves or for their teammates. So, I thought Delaware and Zach and Steve Bernard and Tyler, all four of those guys, pretty much did a solid job, defensively of protecting the paint. And I just think that's how we're gonna win basketball games, not because the ball goes in the basket, but because we're consistent on the defensive end.
Coach, so basically, with the style of Ron and Zach and even Tyler, this was definitely a great team win for you tonight against a young Delaware team, but I'm sure you feel that Coach Ross will do a great job with that program, and you managed to actually get Sadler out of the ball game because I know that he took a bad shot. So this was definitely a good win. I know containing Sadler was the toughest, but you managed to take advantage of that.
Well, for me, we played against the Delaware Blue Ants. We didn't play against one young man. Hayes is averaging a double-double. Franklin is playing well. Lewis is playing well. Coach Ross has the guys playing the right way. For us, it just comes down to, at the end of the day, if we get one stop each opportunity we have over the course of 40 minutes, then we're probably going to win more games than we lose. So, I can't say we took Saturday out of the game because that wasn't our objective to take him out of here. Our objective was to play Penn basketball. And he's averaging almost 25 points a game. And he said he's going to make some tough shots, but let the shots that he makes be tough. And let's not try to give those guys anything. I think at this level, in Division I basketball, you can't afford to give guys anything at this level and expect to win.
Jerome, is Zach playing as well as anybody in the city right now? What he's doing?
I'm a tough critic, so especially from a point guard standpoint. I think I reflect back on the possessions when he didn't make the right play more so than I do the possessions that he does. And obviously, I love Zach. He does a lot for us. And he wants to be coached. He can take criticism. He responds. He's an outstanding leader. And to be quite honest with you, you'd be hard pressed to find any young man throughout the country that's giving what he's giving to us. And if you do find him, he's a pretty good ball player.
Bro, can you get back to what you were saying? Do you think this was sort of one of your best defensive performances of the season?
I can't really say that. Over the course of 40 minutes, and I wouldn't argue with you. Maybe that is the case, but I thought in other games we gave ourselves the opportunity to win because we defended. But it was a solid effort. We don't win the basketball game tonight if not for Steve Renard. And he's a young man who just he just rejoined the team a couple weeks ago, and the entire time he was making sure that he was ready from a conditioning standpoint, from an understanding standpoint, always being engaged on the sidelines, and for him to just we didn't allow for the experience tonight, but for him to just respond. Just call it. I think that's a sign of a good team. We have 15 guys that prepare themselves to contribute.
Someone have a question?
Based on Renard's play today, do you expect to see him continue to get minutes when Miles comes back?
Well, I mean, at least I know that he can help us. He can help us, and it's going to be it's only 200 minutes in a basketball game, and I think his effort tonight will allow us all forward to play maybe possibly him and Miles together. Maybe we could decrease that minutes. We play small at times, but he's a young man that's responded, and I'm happy for him because now I have something tangible. My words are credible when I tell other guys to be ready when your number is called. You know when opportunities will come, and I can point to him as an example of, in this game as an example of a young man who had 0 minutes thus far in the season, and his 10th game of the year played 25 minutes and really exhausted himself on the defensive end.
Can you talk about early in the second half? You guys outscored like 15-2 or something. You had like 8 or 9 points. I don't know if you remember that stretch there, but if you talk about your offensive performance and then just reflect on the defense in game 2?
When was that?
Sorry. Early in the second half. If you don't remember it,
I mean, that's what Coach Allen preaches every day is, we got to play Penn basketball for 40 minutes, and I think that was a very good representation of a stretch where we played Penn basketball. We were all over the place on defense, and I really got to commend my teammates. I get a lot of credit, probably more than I deserve for being a good defender. But, I remember seeing Zach all over the place, Tyler all over the place, Steve when he was in there, and they were shook. As a team, they were shook. And I really think that the way we, the 5 guys on the floor played out there, shots are going to fall. As long as we're playing defense, if we only scored 5 points in that stretch, we still would have outscored them 5-2. They scored 2 points in 9 minutes, and that's from the minute Coach Allen took over. That's what he's been preaching. And, we're getting better at it, and every game is going to improve.
Rob, you and the big guys did a great job inside of keeping Delaware off the board, second chance shots, and rebounding. What was the mindset going into the game, knowing that Delaware had an athletic team coming to you guys?
Hit them first. I love a little tussle down there, and really we started Mar at the 4, who was lighter than I am, and they had 2 beasts down there. Like, those guys were both big boys, and they were strong. Even the guys that brought up the bench were big and strong. But our mentality always has to be to hit them first, because if you hit them 14 feet away from the basket, they might drive you 4 feet, towards the basket, but you're still 10 feet out. So it gives you a great position to rebound. So I think we collectively did a great job, and like always, our guards did a great job hammering back. Tyler had 6 rebounds again. We're doing it was just a great example of team box out, team defense, everything.
Jerome, what happened to Miles, and do you expect him to play on Saturday?
He's day to day. He's just a freak accident in practice. We'll practice tomorrow before we get on our flight tomorrow night, and see how he responds.
Rob, what's it like having somebody like Zach for a teammate? Somebody who gives you those things. He'll find you guys too.
It's more fun to have him as a roommate.
That's because they live together.
We do.
They live together for 4 years.
And what goes on there stays there?
He stays there. No, Zach, he's like no one I've ever met. Honestly, he's every day in everything he does. In his locker, if you go in there, he's got the the Plato quote. I don't know it offhand. You guys want to look it up, but it's, you do excellence every day.
It's
Beginners have it.
Aristotle.
Aristotle, it's close. But that's what Zach does. Now, so you want to know Zach Rosen? Follow him through the course of a day. Look at what he does in the morning. He gets up, makes his bed every day. He gets out. He's on every single class. Everything he does, he pursues excellence. And it's something that, you know, as someone that is nowhere near as excellent as him, I really admire. And don't put that in the paper because I don't want him to know that.
So I know somebody who doesn't make his better than me. You talked about, of course, that you badly wanted the Villanova game. It didn't turn out the way it happened. And then you got an even tougher challenge with UCLA. So this win, obviously, for you has got to be a big win for you. Getting a double-double against one of the toughest players in CAA, and Jamal Hagens, was your assignment. So how big a win was that? And do you feel like you'll be able to, I guess, momentum shift that to UCLA Saturday?
I think it's always good to get back on the right track, no matter what. And we played a pretty good game, but we didn't play a perfect game still. And we had a chance to step on them when we were up 14 after that run, whatever that was. And we didn't do it though. But we know we showed ourselves what we're capable of. And just again, for the young guys, it's just good for them to see, they understand what we can do as a team, as a unit.
Last question.
Jerome, Rob's
Jonathan, go ahead.
Rob's talking about closing the game out just a minute ago. What's your perspective on what he said about, he didn't think you guys quite closed it out, but you were able to jump out early in the second half and finish the game off, and you played some pretty close games this year?
Yeah, I didn't think we did a decent job of closing out the end of the first half. We had 2 turnovers. We got transition baskets, dunks. We gave up a couple offensive rebounds. So we went from 5, 6, and then now they had one on a 5-point run. And just going forward in the second half, you know, we had opportunities to put people away. Careless, no box outs. Guy doesn't slide his feet. No switch on a guard dribble handoff. You know, those things that get you beat. So, you know, those are really the things that I try to focus on, because although I know we can't play perfect basketball, you know, my job in this role is to push them to try to aim to play perfect basketball. And that's really the only way you can reach your ultimate goal.